Get it. We are back. I got my co-host today, Mr. Donald, my twin, all day, every day, but the pretty version.
Twinning.
We got our guest in the house. Who do we got today?
Putting me on the spot.
We got my man Blake in the house today.
And Flame in the house.
And Flame in the house.
Yeah.
Boxing coach?
Yes, sir.
Damn. We need
MMA
to take
coach
some
too.
lessons for sure.
Yeah, boxing coach, brother, mentor,
That's awesome.
number
So,
one savage.
Thank you for coming by. We know you just had a big win.
Yes.
UFC
Congratulations,
debut.
man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That was
sir.
amazing.
It was incredible, man.
We knew you were going to get there.
Yeah.
No doubt in anyone's
First
mind.
First of many, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just a start, bro. He ain't even started yet.
Yeah. The only
With this
regrets
guy on
everybody I
board?
know has is that they didn't bet more money on me.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know you were fighting, bro. I would have put all in. Shit.
No. I'll tell people.
He would
tell
have.
people, bet the house.
Yeah.
You get another one.
When's the next fight?
We don't know 100% yet, but right now, I want to shoot for April or May.
Oh,
I'm thinking
nice.
more. I'm thinking more so May, just because I got just like a little strain in my hand, so I just got to get it X-rayed and see what's going on with it. But I'm still at the boxing gym. I can still hit.
Kenny
with it and
does good
everything.
massages on the hands if you need.
Yes.
And foot.
He does foot massage and hand massage.
Get it, boy.
I'm looking for the happy ending.
You'll be happy, bro. You'll be happy.
Yeah.
You
All's
know?
well that ends well.
Oh, shit.
So looking for the fight, May, some Cinco de Mayo action, you think, or like it's to be determined? I know a lot of fights happen on like around that holiday, right?
Yeah. I think it's May 6th or May 8th.
Okay, yeah.
And that's, and you know what? You know what's crazy is that one's out in Miami.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So,
That'd be nice.
We all love Miami.
yeah.
So you might have
Yeah.
to come out for that one.
They have great weather.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The weather's beautiful.
Yeah. Beautiful
We
weather.
can't
but-
complain.
We got some cars in Miami.
Yeah?
That we can try to set something up for you.
Oh, that'd be
nice.
great.
Show up with
Yeah.
a nice Miami blue. What
we're
was it?
gonna have to send this one out to Miami.
Yeah,
I'll-
bro.
I'll drive it out there.
Remember
Shit.
the only color they had was that the baby blue McLaren that we got.
Yeah.
I tried to get weird colors, but they didn't have any. But anyways, besides the fact, thank you for coming on the second time, because the first time our dudes kind of messed up the audio and
Yeah,
shit, so we couldn't really
production.
post that one. But it was meant to be, because now you're here after your win.
Yep.
And why don't you walk us through a little bit of how you guys got where you're at,
How we met?
how
Yeah.
you guys met, how you made them win, how you helped them.
Yeah,
Well-
right. How I made you win.
Well, it was funny because actually, so Real Boxing Champions Club is Flame's gym, and I went in there because I met up with a guy at one of my gyms, and he's like, "Look, man," he's like, "if you wanna get to the next level, you have to do different striking." He's like, "The way that we're moving at this gym is just different," and he showed me a few things. And I used it the next day in sparring, and I was slapping guys around with it. I was like, "Yo, get me with that coach." And it was this guy Trevor Sombrano, and I went and did like a class with him, and like it was all bag work, but he just sat there the whole time looking at his guys, and he gave us like drills to do, combos to do, and he just correct everything. Like it was almost like I had never boxed before. I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Damn." I have to get with a different program. You know, I'm in high school level boxing, and I need to go up to Ivy League. So
That's where you came in.
He's working with somebody else right now
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
at my
shit.
gym.
yeah.
Oh,
So
damn.
this guy's name is Trevor,
Yeah.
and so I go there. I'm like, damn, like this gym is like sick. They produce like good guys, and I'm about a week or two out from my title fight, my first title for CFFC. And so I work with them. I'm like, damn, this is amazing. I spar, I do well. The next day, the next day when I was sparring, I wanted to work with him again because I was like, damn, I saw immediate results. So I hit him up, and I was just on IG. I was just like, hey, I'm gonna be at the boxing gym tonight. I really like the work. If you're there tonight, I'd like to work with you again. if we can. And he didn't respond. He was just like doing his own thing. I didn't communicate. I was just like, I'm just going to throw it out there. And so I went to the gym, and then I start like wrestling around with like a bunch of guys from like from a different coach. So there's a guy, P-Bay. He had like 6 fighters, and I'm like grappling back to back with all these guys, and he's over there, and he sees what's going on, and he's just like laughing. And I get done doing like 6 rounds with these guys, and I'm like super tired. I'm cutting weight. I'm like 2 weeks away from a fight. I'm like, Jesus, guys.
What
like,
are you doing?
I came here to box, not like grapple, you know. Like I'm trying to work on stuff, and I meet Flame, and he's like, hey, what's up, man? I was like,
what's up?
I was like, what's up, bro? And like, I don't know anybody, you know. I don't know that it's his gym.
I was more like, what's up, bro? You paying your membership?
Yeah.
What's up?
What are you doing here?
He came at me aggressive, and he's like, what's up, bro? Who are you here to see? And I was like, I told Trevor that I was gonna be coming through, so I came to train with him. He's like, oh yeah, Trevor's all right. And I was like, all right. I was like, bro, this guy is like way better than what I'm like used to working with, you know. And so he's like, yeah, he's all right. He's like, you see everything on the wall, and he's got pictures with all his world champions, you know, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Venado, Luis Netti, who just won his fight this last weekend, world champions. And I was like, damn, okay. And he's like, real quick, like, show me how you slip. And like, I'm just like, and he puts a right hand right here. I'm like, fuck, damn. And he's just smooth with it. And then he's like, see, my guys are a little bit different. He's like, the way we move is like, we move our shoulders, we touch the knee, not necessarily like we're going to go down to the knee, but we move it just so we can really get out the way and program the movement like that. And I was like, damn, this dude's fucking sick. The way he thinks about things, I've never seen anybody explain something so clearly and so easily. Like, it was so simple to do. And I was like, damn. And then he was like, that way, when you move, boom, you're out the way. Bah! And he came in with, like, winging shots, like Cuban-style hooks. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, if this dude hit me with, like, 2-3 of these, lights out.
Yeah.
And so I was like, just, like, a good fighter can see, like, the flow of another fighter. Like, when I watch a fighter, like, shadow box or see somebody move, I could tell right away if they're good or not. And I saw him move, and I was like, damn, this dude's not only good, he's great.
He's not fucking around.
He's the best.
I remember, too, because he was about to leave, and I was about to, actually, I think you were training or whatever, but I was about to leave. I was on my way out, and he asked me, is there anything you could show me that I could practice on? And I told him, what did I tell you that day?
He goes, it was the most gangster answer I've ever heard in my life. He's like, I was like, hey, real quick, can you show me like a combo that I could work on before you head out? And he looks at me, he walks back, and he grabs me on the shoulder. He goes, Papi, I would, but me and my guys program here. He goes, everything that we do from the moment we walk through that door to the moment we walk out is with purpose. Every movement is with purpose and intention.
There it is.
Nothing's wasted, and the attention to detail is exactly on our opponent. We tailor specifically to how they work. So even if I showed you, it wouldn't even make sense because you don't understand the language that and the patterns that we have. But yeah, have a good night, man.
Yeah, he goes out the door.
So we left. We both had fights coming up. I was working with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in Mexico. We had a fight in Culiacan, Mexico, Sinaloa.
Yep.
Nice.
So I went over there. He went to go fight in Jersey, I
any
think.
goodies back?
Yep. In Atlantic City.
Some goodies back.
To bring any goodies back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa Claus bag. I remember us coming back, and I won my fight. He won his fight.
Yep.
And then it's funny, like, we still weren't working together. Not in a bad way. I was not, like, interested in working with anybody new. Mind you, I came back. I was, like, on the top of the top, the best athletes. I had another fight in Mandalay Bay, in Las Vegas with Luis Netti coming up, and plenty other fights. So,
Nice.
But I would see him train when he got back, and there was details that I was seeing. I was like, fuck, this guy's just walking blind, you know?
like he needs help.
Yeah, like like that's where it's at, and this guy's walking the complete opposite way, you know, like literally walking into a wall like nonstop, not going anywhere. And I wouldn't say much, you know, because you respectfully just let people do their shit. But since we kind of already had sparked the conversation, had we have not sparked, I wouldn't have gave a shit.
Yeah.
But we had sparked the conversation, and then I was like, I just couldn't help it, you know. I told him, dude, like, you look too stiff. Like, what are you doing? And I was just kept commenting on his things. And I think one of the days I think I wrote to him is like, dude, let's come in, let's train, or something like that.
Yeah, and so Flame does a bunch of like Instagram reels, and like if you look at his reels, like right after he told me that statement, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? That's the coldest shit anybody's ever said. Because hands down, guaranteed, if you go to any gym, any coach, anywhere, and you're like, hey, can you show me a quick combo? Like, oh, yeah, you want to hit with the 1-1-2 and then move to the right and hit a 2-3. Man, he's like, nah, man. Like, I'm not, like, even if I told you this, it wouldn't make sense. Because we program and we tailor specifically to a specific opponent. So if I just give you some shit and it doesn't work out, you're going to put the blame on me. And I'm not going to lead you astray. I'm going to lead you to victory because that's what I do. And I was like, this guy's got a different mindset. And after that, I followed him on Instagram, and I watched all of his videos. And I would go to 24-Hour Fitness, and I would go do exactly what he said. But it was good, but I needed more details from him of what exactly to do.
The sauce wasn't right.
Exactly. And
Just,
so
there was something off.
There was something
How,
off.
how long ago was this again?
this was almost a year ago.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
about
so
to
this
hit
is
12
recent.
months, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah, and so I would go and do all this, and so I was like, man, if I had the opportunity to train with this guy, hands down, I'd be a world champion, hands down, like not regionally, but world champion.
Yeah.
So
And,
he comes in after, though, we talk, and then he comes in. Mind you, he has his own boxing coach, his own everything.
Yep.
But I'm not looking for, like, hey, come, let me be your coach. I didn't look at it in that perspective.
He doesn't
but
even train MMA fighters.
I have worked with some in the past, and
He's like, I don't really care to do it.
the thing was always the money, like, you know, because a fighter, I mean, I don't know, it's just been kind of weird. Like, MMA fighter that was making 30 grand, a boxer's making like 120 grand. And then the guy that's the MMA fighter is making 30 grand. Now he has to split that 30 grand between 2 coaches or 3 coaches, as opposed to when I'm doing a boxing fighter, I keep my whole percentage and I don't give anything to anybody. So it didn't make sense to me. I was like, I'm killing it in boxing. Like, why am I going to tailor somewhere else, you know? Yeah. So I didn't have an interest at that moment. And then we came in, we started working together, and the rest is history. We just killed it. I remember a few weeks later, his little brother passed away, rest in paradise. Yes. And he tells me, comes in and he just says, like, dude, like, gives me the breakdown. My brother took his life. And I told him, I looked at him and I told him.
That's literally right when we did the podcast, right after that.
Oh, shit.
It was a month later.
So when I was getting ready for that fight, I got the news that my little brother committed suicide. He hung himself. And then I went to Georgia. I had just started working with Flame. I went to Georgia. I viewed his body, and when I got back from viewing him, I got a call like, hey, we got to fight for you. Do you want to fight for the title? And I'm like, sitting there, I'm like, fuck, man, like, this just happened. And I'm like, man, life doesn't happen to me. Life happens for me. And if I'm gonna put a stamp and a reason on why I should fight, it's good for me to fight because I don't need my family sitting around dwelling on the loss that we just had, and I don't need to be either, you know. And I got back, and we had just met, so I was pretty motivated in the gym because I had dreamed of working with Flame ever since I met him. And then when he hit me up, I was like, oh shit, this guy wants to work with me? No way. I was like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna finagle this? The politics are not gonna work. I know if I go and train with him, that's it. I'm cut off from like 2 coaches. And I was like, and in my head, I just prayed about it, and I was like, fuck it. I was like, I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't even know if he's gonna keep training me.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this is the right move, and I'm gonna go with it.
Well, you trusted your guts, you know.
I trusted
Just
my gut.
Yeah.
When
He-
my
he-
instant
he-
gut feeling, yeah.
He came in,
That's-
trained, and I remember I took a picture and I posted on the bottom, new fighter.
Yeah.
So this dude reposts it, and what did you put?
I put programming with the brain emoji over that.
Over that, so he
And
wouldn't get in
my-
trouble.
My old boxing coach sends me his with
Oh.
that says new fighter on it, and I was like, back. It was like talking to like a it was like getting caught cheating.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, hey,
Literally.
it's
Yeah.
not like that, you know. Where I
Trying
want
to
you
make
in
up all
the
these
I want
excuses.
you in the corner for the fight, and he's like, I think it's just best if you go finish your career off with.
But
with
I had
Flame.
told him, like, dude, like, talk to your coach.
Yeah.
I'm glad to work together with him. Like, I think if anything, he could learn from me, and maybe there's something I can learn from him, because I'm
Yeah,
open-minded,
yeah,
right?
Of course,
I was super cool about it. And then I don't know if you told him or not, if you told him that or not. Did you?
No.
Okay, cool.
No,
Well,
because
It wasn't the time.
he was like,
Yeah.
your wife's cheating on you. He's like, hey, maybe we could all. like, you, like,
look,
I get
she's
it.
really nice. You could help. You could do the cooking. She could do the fucking laundry. You know, you
Fuck
have
it.
half the job, right?
Hey,
No, but-
there's a good side to everything, right?
Yeah,
But
I
I
get it.
knew. But here's the thing. I know if I go and have that conversation, that it's gonna get it's gonna get shot down. And so maybe it was wrong, but I was just like, you know what? I was like, I'll just train with him for a day. That's all I said. I was like, I'll train with him for a day, see how it is, see if I like it, see what the move is, and after, like, we trained for 2 hours, and 2 hours felt like 2 years of knowledge and experience.
That's
I was like,
awesome.
No way, I can't believe. And the next day that I went to sparring, I didn't get hit at all. Almost knocked a couple guys out, and I dropped a few guys with body shots. Like, I was a force.
On fire.
A
Yeah.
force.
That's fucking hard.
And I was like, I had a different intensity in my demeanor, and everybody felt it. Like, everybody was like, fuck, what just happened? Like, what are you doing different? And I was like, yo, low key, I was like, I just went to the guy. His name is Flamin' Hot Mids, bro. They call him the Flame.
The flame. Is,
Yeah, and
the flame
and I'm
is
gonna
a
This
be,
heat.
dude's fucking
Crazy.
sick.
and the industry, the fight industry that we're in, it's so big. Like, it reaches out so big everywhere, but it's so small because there's only so many people that actually do it, like coaches, right? So in the industry, it's like a lot of these coaches are, like, you know, older than me. I consider myself young for the accomplishments that I've
You
had.
are young, bro.
It's only 30.
Under 30 years old at world championship
Yeah.
fights, you know, fucking fighting for
crazy.
over $1 million, $2 million with some of these fighters. Like, it's insane. A lot of these guys are like 50 and they still haven't even gotten there.
Yeah.
It's
And-
the
yeah.
30-year anniversary for UFC, too.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, Flame's as old as the UFC.
Yeah. So it was this industry is brutal, you know, and a lot of people always say, we're always throwing it at me in my face, like, oh, you know, I remember this time they told me I had fought at the Staples Center, my biggest fight ever. I was young, I was like early 20s, and this guy was a dick. Like, he kicked my dad out of the corner because he wanted to be in the corner, and I'm like, dude, me and my dad have been training this guy together. What the hell? And it was his manager, and I was like, all right, whatever. I guess some random dude's just going to be in my corner or whatever. And the guy tells me when I got home, he says, like, because I was pissed. I didn't even shake his hand that day. He says, like, this is the last time you're ever going to be in a big fight and at this scale. So, you know, hope you enjoyed it. And, like, telling me, like, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So if he's
now
watching,
now you can tell him.
if
what's
you're
up.
watching, fuck you, you know? Because
Sucked his
yeah.
nut.
I'm gonna
Look
tell
where
you,
he's at now.
Yeah.
I've accomplished way more than that, and at a world championship level. And, you know, I was never like trying to prove. Yeah,
Fuck yeah, where are the shots?
I was never trying to.
This
grow-
guy was looking for shots.
Shot of espresso.
There we go.
I was never trying to prove him wrong. It was just more so I was trying to get something accomplished for myself. And had I have focused on everybody's thing and trying to prove everybody wrong, I wouldn't have made it where I made it today in the fight game. So,
That's incredible.
but utilizing the energy was really helpful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Well, that's fuel. You know,
it's
that's
all
fuel,
energy.
motivation.
It's just
Yeah,
how
yeah.
you utilize it.
Yeah.
And going back to like when he told me that about his little brother when he
Yeah.
passed, the same way how I use all energy, I used it with him. And he tells me, you know, gives me the news, and I tell him, Papi, life is what you make of it. Literally told him that. Like, I didn't hug him, I didn't give him the sorry speech. It's just not who I am. Like, I'm not going to fucking cry. Death is natural, and it's going to happen to everybody. You, everybody. We're all going.
Yep.
So you have two options.
I'll
You
be
grab,
first.
Unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
you
but
grab
yeah,
this
yeah.
energy and you push it to you in a sad moment. It's gonna fucking eat you.
Yeah.
Or you grab this energy and
Yeah.
use it as fuel, and you become
Positive,
more of a
yeah.
badder motherfucker, and you're gonna kill it. So a lot of people typically like,
did.
oh, don't take this fight.
Yeah,
So I
that's
said,
what-
take the fight. We're fucking going.
Yeah.
And he tells me, I've never had a knockout before. And I told him, I'm going to get you your first knockout. I promise that.
Yep.
And we go to Atlantic City. You know, we're on our way, and it's fucking crazy. The whole journey on our way is crazy. We take 2 flights to get there. We end up in Philly. This dude is taking us through the whole city, trying to introduce us here. I mean, this dude's cutting weight. We're like not having it.
Yeah.
We just were on a fucking
He's-
plane for 7 hours.
He's like taking us through. There's this place. They have it on Vice. It's called Kensington Park. It's called
Surviving
It's called
Kensington.
Yeah.
Surviving.
It's a show,
Yeah.
bro.
It's called it's called Needle Park, bro. It's like literally a whole town of people that's strung out and doped out on heroin and fentanyl.
What
Like,
the
bro, like
You think
people-
Skid Row is bad?
Nothing, huh?
Nothing.
Skid Row is Disneyland compared to fucking this place.
Bro, this place,
Holy
like, bro,
shit.
there was like homeless people like having sex with each other in front of like the marketplace. Like
Really?
people,
Yeah,
like
drugging
bro,
each other.
bro, literally, like
Donald would have
peop-
jumped in on that.
Let me get my
He would've been
turn.
like, get away, let me get in that real quick.
Bro, people doped out, like just
Fuck.
knocked out on the side of the road, like bro, head
Holy
to toe,
shit.
head to toe for miles. Like, bro, not like a few, not like 100 thousands of people, just nonstop, all drugged out, like the whole
fucking
town,
nuts.
everybody.
What was the purpose of you guys going through that town or like going there?
He just wanted to show us what it was about and how down he was and where he grew up. And it was like,
yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
so
he
it was
wasn't
one of those,
mindful
like,
enough
yeah.
that we were training. He took
Yeah.
us to his gym, a gym that he trained at. And it was a cool gym because it was really hot, really like ghetto, gangsta. Like that's my culture. That's where we come from. So for me, it feels like at home.
Yep.
And it was great. All that part was great, and except like he was driving us through the whole part. And he tells us, "Hey, I'm taking you to Atlantic City. We're still an hour and a half or 2 hours away from there." And
Mind
dude,
you, I gotta make weight the next day.
he takes one of our guys like around the city, like to show him they're not even back with waters. We're like, what the fuck? is
Yeah,
going
didn't
on?
go,
Oh,
didn't get
shit.
anything that they said that they were gonna do. And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, let me take you over to my house,
yeah,
show
whatever.
you some." And then like they went back to the house to grab something, and then like he was like, "Yo, did you get the? Oh, I almost forgot. Oh yeah, hold on, let me take my dog out." And he's like taking his dog out, steals my.
We're on our
friend.
way back to Atlantic City, and this dude drops us off. Not even halfway there. Not even like 20 minutes in. He's like, "Oh, yeah. So you guys want to hop out and call the Uber thing or whatever?
Grab
And,
yourselves a Uber.
Yeah, you know."
We're like, "Hey,
What?
can you take us to Atlantic
like
City?"
11, 12 o'clock already.
Yeah,
at night.
and he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I would take yous, but my wife would freak out on me." I'm like,
Fuck.
"Bro, you couldn't have like not stolen our
Yeah.
friend for 3 hours and
We would be
like,
there a long time.
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
He had already
You'd be just
committed to
fine.
taking us. And mind you, I met this dude online. Like, we were cool. We chat for like over a year and stuff. And
Yeah, they met
he
playing
committed.
Halo.
Yeah, playing.
So you guys were Halo buddies.
Yeah, and he committed. He picked us up from the airport and stuff. I'm still appreciative for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
course.
good
yeah,
moments. But now you know, like as you start growing up, everybody promises shit and doesn't.
Oh
keep
yeah,
it.
But-
that's.
But here's
that's
the
main thing.
here's the kicker, bro. It's like we're trying to get an Uber from Philly to Atlantic City, New Jersey, and people are responding and then dropping it.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants
Wants
to
to
go out
go,
there.
yeah.
Because the way from Atlantic City back, like nobody's taking that drive.
It's just a random freeway out there.
yeah. So and you're not getting anybody that's going from Atlantic City to Philly. So he's
At that time, either.
yeah, at that time. So we get one. The guy hits, and then like we all get in the car, and he's like,
Oh shit!
"Oh
Get the fuck
shit!"
out.
He's like, "Atlantic City." I was like, "Yeah, dog, please, like, bro, please
take
help
us.
us. Like I'm cutting weight
Please.
right now. this fucking guy's like, oh, you're gonna have to show me how to make the green juice or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah, asking
my
advice
God.
like, after you knock. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I'm like, I still have like 8 more pounds to go, and I'm like fucking dehydrated, bro. I was at 163. I cut to 152. I drank a little bit of liquids to get to 154 and like to not be so dehydrated. And this guy's like fucking asking me about like food and like all these dumbass questions. I'm like,
Hey, like I don't want to talk about this shit right
yeah,
now.
bro, a ride to Atlantic City will get you the formula, bro.
Yeah.
Please trust. And then the guy that picks us up, he's like, all right, man. Well, hey, let me call my wife real quick. He calls his wife up. He's like, hey, you on speaker? Just want to let you know it's going to be a long night. I'm going to Atlantic City. I'm going to be back. You're on speaker. She's like, okay, babe. She's like, I'll see you when you get back.
Fucking rip him a new one.
Yeah. And she was real calm. But you know that he got
that
fucking
text message
chewed
was
out.
nasty.
Yeah, fuck that.
You know, that text message was nasty.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. We always go through some wild predicaments. when
And
we're
that was
there.
that was his first knockout though. Going
Yeah.
back to what we were talking about,
Yeah.
that was his first knockout. It was a fucking scrap for sure.
Yep.
Getting to know himself, and then after that night, I saw his true potential. I knew that because he had fallen down a couple of times in the first round, and everybody
3
was like,
times.
"What the fuck?" 3 times.
Yep.
Everybody was like, "Damn, these dudes are not gonna lose." I know everybody back here were like, "See, the Flame was not gonna be the guy for you."
Yep.
I knew in my heart we were gonna win
Absolutely.
already.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just
Me too.
he just needed to tap in his heart, not in his head, and
Yeah.
that was it. And once he woke up, boom, it's done. I immediately
He switched. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like a flip.
immediately
Yeah, yeah.
immediately when he came back after the first round and we chat, he went back in the second round, dropped that full, boom,
Yep.
and we were fucking him up the whole round. The third round came in, I said he's ready, bro. Take his ass out, and
Yep.
he went in there and just fucking knocked him out, and it was a wrap. But I've always told him,
It's amazing.
I've always told him like this guy's just naturally gifted, talented, and everything. Like whether if I was here or not, but he only needed to know one thing, and his true, that's to recognize his true potential. And it's crazy, and I think that's for a lot of people. A lot of people don't recognize and understand their true potential, so they like stay steady at where they are.
Stagnant. They don't
Yeah.
go anywhere.
Com-
They don't
Yeah,
go
yeah,
anywhere.
comfortable,
That's
yeah.
what it is.
But if you
People
only
stay
knew your true
comfortable.
potential, like how
just gotta
bad of a
push.
motherfucker you were,
Yeah.
you would do it. But you don't know,
Fuck.
and that's what
I
scares
feel
you.
like getting in the ring now. What the
Hey, well,
He's like, I'm about to show everybody my true potential.
And the minute that
hey,
I
show him some moves.
after that fight, my goal was to help him reach that. I know a lot of people are like, oh, like you could be really gifted with your hands and then smart with your brain and everything. But if you don't have your heart, if you don't have it in here, you're not gonna make it in this
Yeah.
in this sport, because this sport is fucking brutal and it's a
That's-
dog
yeah,
sport.
yeah.
Sometimes when everything falls apart, the only thing that's holding you before you fall off that bridge is your heart. That's the
Yeah.
only thing.
That's
And that's what makes
That's amazing.
extraordinary and ordinary people. Is
And
that's
I'm
the-
sure,
that's
I'm
the
sure
split.
the mind
That's
can,
so
can
true
fuck
right
with
there.
you
Yeah.
hard.
That's the
you know.
split. That's the
It-
split.
Damn,
Yeah,
nice.
and it's like
Yeah.
even when I came back from viewing Braden, I was like, I just seen my little brother deceased, cold. I'm taking on this fight. I'm working with a new coach. Was it the right decision? I get back to the gym, bro. I weighed 180 pounds when I got back, and I got a month and a half to get down to 140, 146.
Damn.
And I'm like,
How the
fuck,
hell do you
bro.
shred 30
I'm
pounds?
like, fuck. And so I get to the gym, bro. I go to run. I'm gonna start off with 1 mile today. I run 0.10 miles in, and I'm out of breath, and I'm having a panic attack, and I can't fucking breathe. And I was
Your
like,
mind
I was
is-
like,
So how do
I
you
was
cut
like,
so much weight? I mean, because
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people at home that tried. I mean, me being one of them.
Yeah.
We always try to
Hey,
cut
it's
weight,
like,
but it don't
"Fuck,
happen.
bro." I'm like
One-
stuck in
one
like
day.
two-
We cut it for
Yeah.
2 days and then there's back.
Yeah, like what's your
my-
advice? Yeah.
my body naturally retains a lot of water, and the reason why is because of the duration and intensity of the training sessions that I do. So on a typical day, I do like a 2 to 3 hour training session in a row, so my body knows to hold a lot of water, so I can expel all that energy, and I have plenty of sodium and everything in my body to be able to withstand such a long workout.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just like how you train your body,
course,
like
yeah,
my
yeah.
body knows to hold a lot of sodium, a lot of potassium, and enough magnesium and water to be able to like withstand.
We trick the body too.
Yeah.
It's what's happening.
course, yeah,
You
yeah.
trick it to take a lot of input like water and food, and then it thinks it's still getting that towards the last week, and then out of nowhere you cut it. It drops everything it's supposed to, and you're at weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no sodium. You're cutting out sodium because say this is like a sodium like molecule. When water hits it, it expands, right? So when you're doing that, like all that water is like in there, the sodium's in there, and salt is good for you. What's bad for you is like all this processed sugar or like processed salt, like iodized salts.
Yeah.
Like, not good for you. But if you have good salts with a lot of trace minerals in it, it's really, really, really healthy for you. Because when you see like runners or people that do like long distance running or anything where you're doing a lot of cardio, when they dry up, if they don't rinse off right away, you see like all the salt that's on their skin, right?
The
On your
t-shirts
clothes, you
or
see on the
clothes,
shirts,
Yep. You get like stains on your shirt because of it. So that's all salt. So if you take away the salt, the water has nothing to bind to. And then what people do is they use like a albaline, which is like a makeup remover, or a sweet sweat. And what it does is if your pore is like this, it vasodilates it. So it opens up the pores, so it's easier for the water to come out of it.
To extract that.
Yeah. And so what we do is we use like a bathtub or like a jacuzzi or a sauna, and we put like sweet sweat on. Some people use like Epsom salt, but I like to keep it like as natural as I can. And then if I need this sweet sweat or the albaline at the end, then I'll use that. But yeah, we got a few tricks.
Every fighter
points,
cuts
yeah.
weight differently.
Yeah.
For the week of the weight cut, some fighters cut 15 pounds, some cut 20 pounds in the week of, some cut.
And week off.
I've seen people cut 20 pounds the day before, and I've been part of that. It's crazy. I'm not something that I'm proud of, but I've seen it.
That's
Yeah,
like hell,
I
bro.
cut 30
Insane.
pounds in
And-
2 days.
How is that even possible?
We
Yeah, it's
made
crazy,
it happen.
right?
Yeah,
You just-
it's
But
crazy.
we water loaded.
But this was in the past. I mean, now
Yeah.
We
we
do things
program.
way different.
We got a good team, the UFC PI and everything. And even
Yep.
I told him after this weight cut, I mean, it's my first time working with him. I'm not trying to do anything crazy that's gonna mess us up. So I'm letting him kind of do his thing, and I'm seeing, and I'm just kind of guiding as best as I can to my ability. But after we're done and we fight, I told him, dude, every fight we got to do better.
Yep.
Every weight cut, every step, every breath of oxygen that you take has to be better, whether it's more aerodynamic or whatever. It's got to be better. And
gotta
we
have
started with
progress.
food.
'Cause
Yeah.
here's the thing is I tell all the fighters too, every fighter that I see, I go, you know what's the thing that kills every fighter? They're like, what? I'm like, disciplining their diet. Disciplining your diet is the number one thing. You're not supposed to be so reliant. Like I used to be super reliant on, I'll just cut like an extra 3 pounds. But that extra 3 pounds that you cut might really affect your performance the next day. Like badly. Like you might come in, your brain doesn't, because your body can only absorb water so fast. I think it's I don't want to throw it out there, but I think it's like your body can absorb completely like 4 to 6 ounces of water. So 4 ounces, that's a quarter pound. So it takes four hours for 1 pound to get back on, and really absorb back in. So a lot of guys go into fights and their brains are dehydrated because it's sitting in water. And
so any impact, the body's just going to protect the brain. So any little hit, the body just goes into shock, locks, you're on the ground sleeping.
Yeah.
It could be something very light, boom. And you guys wonder like, oh, this guy just got knocked out. I mean, maybe the other dude didn't even hit hard.
Yeah.
But he prepped better than the other guy. I always say this, the fights are won in the gym. And it's like, if we get fucked up, it's not this whole lucky bullshit that doesn't exist. It's we either prepped wrong and the other guy prepped better than us, and that was it. That's it. That's all it was. That's where we lost. and it can
Damn,
happen with the
that's
weight cut training
It's crazy.
and all this shit.
Taking notes here.
I'm
I
literally
remember-
taking
Can I get a
mental
pen?
notes on everything.
I remember after that
I'm
fight,
gonna re-review this like 50
Oh,
times.
yeah, I'm gonna watch this. So
we were talking to my brother.
gold.
My brother tells him, like, you know what, Blake, you look really good in the gym, this and that. And he tells him, like, but you know where I think you would have been better is if you would have cut weight a little better, to be honest. And we're fucking just won. Like, we fought a crazy fight of our lives. And, you know, we're more on a happy thing. And you just see Blake wanting to grind his teeth like, motherfucker. How you fucking going to tell me that, huh?
Yeah.
But he can. It's allowed to, because this guy's has fought, you know, he's done the weight cuts before.
Yeah.
So it's a fighter to a fighter thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's got to
his-
happen right now.
And
right.
Flames,
Gotta happen.
and Flames' brother Jonah was 9-0 with 8 knockouts.
Holy shit.
Bad motherfucker. Bad motherfucker.
Gangster.
Like gangster with it.
9-0
Crazy
with
style.
8 knockouts. Oh,
Yeah.
that's-
Like this.
Wait, do you
like
train
his.
your brother?
He broke his
Yeah.
neck. He got a bad motorcycle, so he's done. He broke his
Oh,
neck.
Hey,
bad.
motorcycle.
Gone.
Right there, right here.
Oh,
fucking motorcycles,
Yeah.
bro.
I
You
fell down from a
fucking
bike too.
everybody
That's
up.
motorcycle right there. Yeah,
My-
all
My
motorcycle.
leg is gone.
My brother
too.
almost was gone. Broken neck, back. He had a
Oh, shit.
what is it called? Oh, grading, like skin grading on his
Oh,
yeah.
back.
shit.
The
I have
dude
it on
was
my
literally
leg.
like supposed to
Yeah.
just not be here, and he
Yeah,
made it.
he
He's
made
got
it.
plates everywhere, dude, on his back, his neck. So he's telling him, you know, like what he's got to work on, and he tells him straight up is just your weight cut, bro. I already know it, and
And
it
he's a guy,
was.
he's a guy that I really, really respect. Like really, really respect. Like because he deserves it. And like he's like one of those guys in the gym like that. Like it was like when I first walked into the gym and these guys are like superheroes. Like there's something about them. There's something about a great fighter or like a highly touted like black belt where they just have an aura to them. Like they're larger than life. They're
Just energy in general.
the
You
energy
can
that-
see it and feel it.
You
You
can-
know, the moment you walk in. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
from the moment you walk in the door.
Yeah.
What is going? Oh, you see them in there. Whew. It's just like they have like some. It's like electrifying. Like,
crazy.
They have something
Yeah,
to them.
yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like me
I don't-
walking in the room.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You feel
Exactly.
That, you feel that
Yeah.
energy, that peace
Yeah.
you get.
This is the guy she told you not to worry
Yeah.
about.
Facts.
That's crazy.
Oh,
So that's
shit.
so you guys had one fight together, right?
At that point. Now we
but
now we
how
fought
many-
3 times.
Three times so
fights.
Yeah,
far.
that's crazy.
Okay.
And we fucked everybody up. And
Every-
So
we
every
keep-
every fight.
That's
ever
amazing.
So
since
right
has
now we're
been-
working on taking like pretty much every country out. Like first was Brazil.
and we beat number 1 in Brazil
Yeah. So
when was
and
this?
That was
when was this?
that was our first fight
last
April
week-
16th.
last year in February.
oh last year. That was the first fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was April 16th. That was for the world title, and that was against Glover Teixeira and Alex Pereira.
Okay. Yeah.
So he was training side by side with Alex Pereira, and people were like, "Oh, this guy's da 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 da." It's like, bro, all odds were against me.
super underdog. Super
big
underdog.
Yeah.
underdog.
They were like, bring it.
Yeah, and I think, bro, I don't care. You know, it's like the chemistry that we got and like the work that we do and the programming that we do is insane. So we took out Brazil, and then we had another offer. I had a different management that I was with, and I had a new management looking at me, and I was like reading this book by Gary Cohen called How to Negotiate Anything, and in it he's like you can always just have people go for like the desired result. So I was like, all right, I got 2 guys, and they're both saying, oh yeah, I'm working on it. I'm gonna get you into the UFC. I go, here's the deal. If you are who you say you are, and you can do what you say you can do, get me into the UFC, and I'll sign. I go, if you are who you say you are, get me into the UFC, and I'll stay with you. And it's like, deal, right? Like, who wants it more? Who can make it happen? So I go, I'm not signing shit. I go,
Unless, yeah.
Unless.
Yeah.
I go, now you get me a contract with the UFC, I'll sign. I go, and if you can't, I'm dipping. And you can't be mad. I'm giving you an ultimatum. Like, you know, oh, loyalty, da 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 da. I'm like, no, I appreciate I'm loyal almost to a flaw sometimes, but this is my dream. And I came out here 5 years ago in a fucking '08 Chevy Malibu that my buddy's mom sold me, and to do this to be there. I'm not willing to sacrifice that just to be somebody's buddy. And so I'm like, this is what I came to do, and I'm not going to let anybody get in the way of that, even if your feelings get hurt. So you have the choice. Yeah, you have the choice. You can make it happen. And if you can't, then I got to go. I'm out. I'm sorry. I got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to stay at a low level and fight for the stupid fucking CFFC title over and over and over again.
When you got bigger plans.
I'm trying to be the best in the world, and I only got so much time. So it's like, fucking, let's go. Come on. I'm trying to get after it. And so Iridium, they hit me with a couple 2-week notice fights, and I'm like 170, and I'm like, damn, like I could make the weight, but my performance would not be up to par. And they put me up against a guy who is ranked number 20 in the world. I was like, nah, man, I'm not gonna. I can't do it. I go, give me some more time. They offered me another 2-week notice fight. I go, hey, okay, I'm ready to sign with you guys, but I don't want a 2-week notice fight. Give me a month. Give me a month. Yeah. Give me a month. And 1 month, I'm fine. So then I write my goals down. I got this course by Jordan Belfort called the Straight Line Persuasion course, and there's this part in it where he talks about goal setting, and he's like, oh, everybody in here talks about doing 6 months goals, 1 year goals. He's like, no. He's like, we got to do 60-day goals. He's like, anything over that is way too much. He's like, so we do 60-day goals. He's like, how's it going to feel? Who's going to be there? It can't just be you. It has to be for somebody else, and it has to be a reason why you're doing it. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm going to write all my goals down on a piece of paper. He's like, they carry it with you in your wallet. I still got it in my wallet. The one that I got for the Dana White Contender Series, and I wrote my 60-day goals down for that fight there.
What's the name of that course?
The Straight Line Persuasion course.
The Straight Line Persuasion course.
Yeah.
Belfort, right?
I think it was episode 2 or 3. And it's like 40 minutes each.
Is that on you have to pay for that, or that's on YouTube, or?
No, you got to pay for it.
You got to pay for it.
Yeah, so some guy.
I think it's free, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, it's a lot of things are, but yeah.
I could send it to you. I got it in my Dropbox.
That'd be cool.
I can't wait to take boxing lessons.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah.
I might just get in one day.
Yeah.
Let's do it. No, that's
with this guy.
You should.
That's good. Yeah, that's good, because I'm going to rewatch this, and probably I've learned a lot of things from Jordan Belfort.
Yeah,
he's Wall Street, especially from the movie.
He's the best. He's the best, man.
Getting into like into a combat sport, honestly, it teaches you who you are. Like,
of course,
and when you get in there and you spar, you don't, after you're done sparring, you go back into the bathroom and you look at yourself if you're the man you thought or you're not the man you thought you were. Of course, you'll look at yourself and you'll know you haven't answered your question at that moment in time. Are you the bad motherfucker you always said you were, or you're not?
Oh, you're full of shit.
Yeah, and you're gonna see yourself in the mirror. But when you go in there and you do your shit and you learn and you know who you are, then and you're like, fuck yeah, I am the bad motherfucker that I said I was. Unlocking that, dude.
I know he's in the mirror every morning. I am bad.
Crazy. Flexing.
Yeah, you have
no,
to.
but I think also a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people cap a lot, and like for me, I look myself in the eyes in the mirror and tell myself who the fuck I am, and it's important.
You gotta believe it.
You gotta believe it.
And you gotta believe it, because there's so many people that are half-assed about their beliefs.
Yeah.
And you can tell, you can read it from a mile away, and I believe in myself, and he really programmed it in my head. Like when we first started working together, when he told me that in the office, he was like, because I'm like, hey, my little brother just committed suicide, sorry I haven't been here. And he's like, oh, my condolences. He's like, but
get to work.
He's like, Poppy, life is what we make it. So why don't we make it
the real shit.
He's like, why don't
you need that sometimes.
Why don't we make it the best that we can and go win a fucking world title? And I was
that's what you did.
And I was like, fuck yeah. But the way he did it was the best way that could have been done, because I tell everybody, hey, my little brother just, oh I'm so sorry. And they do that to you.
And
You mirror their body language,
And you're like,
and it pushes me into myself. And like, I'm
And
already.
you go into this.
And the thing is, we
Exactly.
grow up in a world where it's all based off of programming.
Yeah.
Anything
Yep.
you do in life is just based off of a program.
Sure
And
is.
however type of program you want to look at it, I'm not trying to say I'm going into the matrix, none of that, but I'm just talking about it's a programming that you come into as a kid, you know, like in other countries, what we do may be really bad, and in other countries, what they do may be really bad in our eyes, but it's a programming. So when you grow up, you know, you go to your first funeral service, everybody's crying. You're just kind of just looking at everybody. Your next funeral service, now you're really crying, and you know that's the thing to do.
That's what
But-
you're supposed to
but
do.
imagine-
That's what you saw.
Just imagine if you guys went to a funeral and everybody was clapping, everybody was like celebrating. And imagine that was the culture, and then growing up, imagine seeing that now. That would change. That would change
A lot of
things going
For
on.
sure.
perspective.
And you wonder, like, why is it that we grow up like that? Who knows? Maybe it's a business thing from the people that originated it that way, because it's easier to say, yeah, it's a bad time here. Take this cash, let's go put them in a casket. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
It's easier to let the cash go. But it's all programming. And I didn't understand that shit till I was getting older. You know, I mean, I'm growing up with anxiety, depression, shit like that, because my little brother died. Like, I saw my little brother get ran over when I was 6 years old. He was 5.
Damn,
I remember us pulling him out of the street. He's a bloody mess. Like, what the fuck?
And you know, I don't know if
I'm
you
6
know,
years old.
this podcast is more for like mental health stuff. So,
Oh, I didn't know.
So this is why we do what we do. And the first podcast we had was, I kind of want, because we obviously don't have that, but I want you to kind of tell people like where you guys came from, because
we share the same thing.
Yeah, because people just see this and they're like, no one sees the hard work and the shit you guys put to get to where you're at. It's just like they just see, okay, now you're fighting, you're a champion, great.
Yeah.
But what the fuck took for you? I mean, you had a crazy childhood. Seems like you did too. So maybe you can kind of get into that.
Bro, it gets me emotional, like, to the sense where, like,
it's okay. We can all
no,
tears.
like not like in a bad way, but it makes me like really stand in a different position. Like, I can't believe I was so blind looking at it like that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't believe I was trapped.
Yeah.
And that's why I get emotional, because I'm like, fuck, bro. I'm so mad about that. And you grow up like, oh no, he's gonna have a bad trauma, this and that. I was fucking traumatized then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck, what the fuck? But imagine had I have had, you know, my dad was fucked up. My mom was all fucked up. Everybody was fucked up. But imagine if I had maybe my dad looked at it a little bit different and was like, son, you know, it's part of life. Shit happens. Come on. And yeah, maybe he cried behind doors and all that shit, but he molded me a little different, then shit would have been badass. I mean, great support either way. You know, they helped me out through everything. But I was fucking seeing psychologists, psychiatrists till I was about 17, 18 years old, dude. I couldn't help it. Shit was fucked up. I thought I was dying from being around so many people. I thought this and that was happening.
What happened that you were doing all, like, what was going on?
Well, I would just get like anxiety attacks and shit like that and all this thing.
I
but
mean, nobody teaches you how to deal with that.
Oh,
shit,
right.
You know,
And
so
I
you have to learn it on your own and figure that shit
the way
out,
that I
you
learned
know?
it one time is my dad's Mexican, so I was old enough, and he said, you know what, fucking, he just told me, dude, fuck it, if you die a la verga, like, it happened, like, stop this shit, like, it's all fake, this and that, and like, gave me the coldest answer ever, and I was like, wait, he's fucking right, this is all fake, like, what the fuck, anxiety?
Oh, yeah.
Where are you? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just all mental.
Yeah,
It's
it's
all-
all in your
But
head,
you don't
bro.
know that. You don't know that right away, because the feelings are real. Feelings are real.
So real.
Right? Feelings are
Bro,
real.
I had panic
but they're
attacks.
not
I called
there.
911. I was like, I'm fucking
I'm
dying.
dying.
I'm like, someone needs to come get me. And by the time they got there,
You're
I was
fine.
like, I'm sorry. I think it was I don't know. I was just like fucking
Yeah,
perfectly
freaking out.
fine.
You think you're falling.
But
you
the
know?
way it feels.
I couldn't breathe.
Yeah,
My
the way it
chest
feels.
was so tight. I was sweating. I was just like thinking I'm gonna pass out. I was like, fuck, I'm
But
dead.
you know what though, and a lot of that happens.
Like-
It's like I tell you through programming, because people are scared to die,
Yeah.
and when you're scared to die, you freak the
Yeah,
fuck out.
you
You know what I'm
freak out.
saying? And and when
Now I
you
don't
understand,
And I was like,
when you
fuck it.
understand that death is part of life,
it's gonna
bro,
happen,
it gets
bro.
easier,
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah.
My whole
It
motto is
definitely
like,
does.
if you're not willing to die, you're not willing to live.
Yeah.
You know, and like when you know, it's crazy because like I've dealt with like depression and not really anxiety, like, or at least I didn't like think that it was anxiety, but like I just dealt with like suicidal thoughts and that my whole life. Like first suicide attempt in 8th grade because I couldn't go over to my friend's house. You know, my dad was like back in the picture. He just got back from, he just got out of jail. And then, like, a few months later, he's back in jail and, like, in and out of prison. My whole life, it was absolute madness, you know, and like dealing with that, like I didn't know how to deal with it, and I was like, oh yeah, my dad's back, yeah, finally, and he just like wasn't what I remembered him to be. He was like a superhero, larger than life when I was a kid, and he came back, and I was like, who is this guy? Like yeah, he's like my dad, but like not really. He's more of just like a guy that's like hanging out at the house, and he's
almost like a stranger.
yeah, and like he's kind of a loser. Like what the fuck? Like and like I don't want to be like this guy. What the fuck? Like, and it fucked up my paradigm because I was like I wanted to be just like the guy. Yeah. And then I remember like he would come back and he'd like, oh yeah, I'm sober, Blakester. Yeah, I'm not doing this. Da 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 da. And then he'd go back to drinking. And I remember in like 5th grade, he told me, he was just like, yeah, you know. He's like, I got cirrhosis of the liver, so, you know, your old man ain't going to be around for long. And I was like, I remember being like, what? Like, you're going to die? And he's like, yeah. He's like, not much for me. He's like, I'm going to be gone pretty soon. And I remember in 5th grade, they talked about, like your liver. They're like, oh, yeah, you know, the liver is the main function of the body. If it's damaged, you know, you have a severe chance of dying and like and it could be very fatal, you know, just a little bit of damage. And I remember in like 5th grade feeling like I remember shrinking into myself and being like, my dad's gonna fucking die. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, I remember just like being so sad about that. And it's like first time when like I ever felt like I was like, maybe I should just die, you know, if he's so willing to give up. And I was just like, man, and then it like started this like weird chain, and from then on, like I started like it like fucked with me big time. And then you know, 8th grade, I had an attempt and I failed, and it was kind of like it was like the first time I ever prayed to God, and I was just like, man, you know, maybe life's not that bad. I was like, I can change some things around. I was like, I don't think I want to die. I think I want to live. And I prayed to God. I was like, God, if you keep me alive, you have a purpose for my life. Let me live that out, and and I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell anybody. And my older brother came in, and he's like, you all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. But I swallowed like 52 random pills, but a few, I started throwing them up after I prayed. And then
thank God you did.
A few of them were no-dos. So it was like caffeine pills. Yeah. So I was up all night, you know, and it's crazy because like I did that, you know, and I would suffer from depression a lot. Like I'd be having great days. I'm one of the happiest people I know, but like I'd get so high from just being happy, and then I'd get down and like off the smallest things, or sometimes nothing. Yeah. Nothing is going on, but I'm just like, I don't know.
It triggered that feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, and a month before Braden, like he called me up, and on my way to like a AA meeting, and I was like, hey, what's up? And he's like, I fucked up. And I was like, what do you mean you fucked up? And he's like, I fucked up. I ate some sleeping pills. And I was like, oh, man. How much is some? And he's like, a whole bottle. Fuck. And I was like, how much was in it? He's like, a lot. And I'm like, I just started fucking crying. I was like, dude, what's going on with you? I was like, bro, you got a 2-year-old boy, bro. Like, what are you doing? You got another baby on the way. I was like,
shit, yeah.
I was like, bro, what's wrong with you? And he's like, oh no. He's like, I just wanted to feel numb. And I'm like, and I just started fucking crying. And I was like 3 things. I was like, 1, I love you. I was like, 2, I was like, I'm glad you called. And 3, you need to get fucking help. I go, 100% you fucking regret that, don't you? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'll just feel sleepy. I go, dude, do not go to fucking sleep. Yeah. I was like, you go to sleep, you ain't waking up. I go, bro, please, for the life of me. I was like, what do you need? I was like, do you need money? I'll fucking Venmo you. I was like, what do you need? And he's like, oh no, I just need help. I was like, is anybody there? Nope. was like, all right, well, fuck. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to this fucking AA meeting right now. I was like, are you gonna be all right? I was like, bro, make sure, please, for the life of me, call somebody. I'll get you an Uber. I'll do whatever the fuck it takes. Go to the hospital, get your stomach pumped. I go, because when I swallowed all those pills in 8th grade, I was like, I didn't fucking call anybody. So I'm proud of you for calling me. I love you, dude. I was like, but you have to fucking love yourself. I was like, please get help. And he's like, all right, he's like, should I call my friend? I was like, yeah, call your friend. And I was like, tell him to come get you and go to the hospital. I was like, and call me back later on when you do it. And
that's rough.
Calls me afterwards. I fucking like go to this meeting. I cry in it. I was like, my fucking little brother. I don't know what the fuck is going on with him. And then later on, I call and it's like, you all right? He's like, yeah, I'm just sleepy. I'm fine. You know, it's all good. I'm like, all right, well, fuck. I was like, dude, don't do that shit. Don't make a permanent decision on some temporary problems or issues. You know, I was like, it's not fucking worth it.
Yeah.
And a month later, fucking took a bed sheet and went to his happy place, in like this trailer park that he used to run around at, and fucking hung himself. And then I find out about it, and all these fucking kids that he's hanging out with, like, it fucked me up for a while, cause like he had some like nice designer clothes. He was like starting to get some style. He used to be kind of like you know, he just was kind of nerdy and like awkward, you know, and he was like starting to get some style and flavor in his life, and all the kids that he was fucking hanging out with stole all his shoes, took all his clothes, and it's just like, dude, what the fuck? I was like, yo, I was like, have him, send one of those hoodies that we wear, like have some like Balenciaga shoes and like hoodies and like some like Gucci shoes and this and that. And I was like, have him send some of that to the, like, oh, we didn't find anything. What the fuck you mean you didn't find anything? They're like, oh yeah, like they said that none of it was there.
Damn,
like, it's like, and so for me, I was just like, right after his death, I was like, no outsiders. I was like, motherfuckers want to just come in and rob you blind of everything. No, that's not true. You know, it's like I have a better perspective of that. But I was pissed off at the world for a little bit. You know, I was just like, man, of course. I was like, fuck everybody. You know, like motherfuckers only like me. And I told my boy Lou too. I go, I lose this fight. I go. God forbid. It won't happen. I'm gonna fucking win. I got the flame in my corner. I go, but you've seen how much my phone blows up. I lose this fight, there ain't no calls coming.
It's gonna go silent.
There ain't no fucking calls.
Then you know who the real ones are.
Yeah. You win your first sad, UFC fight. Oh, I believe in you. Yeah. I always believed in you.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time. I go, no. That's fucking cap. I go, you ain't proud of me. You're just surprised I keep pulling it off. I go, trust me, I can read energy and I know who is there for me and who's not.
For the record, I think we're all very, very proud of you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Even if you lost, we would have had your back all day. I don't give a fuck.
And you can tell.
Because you're a real one, man.
Yeah.
Since the day I met you, like, just, you're so real. And you're not like one of these fake-ass fools that just thinks he's the shit. You don't go out looking for shit. You're just you, man, and you're such a solid human being, bro. For all the shit you've been through, like, we applaud you.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
And you, too. Now that we know you, my man.
Your
your family, too.
Little, yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
A round of applause for Flame, too, because, man, he really redirected like my thought patterns and the way that I would think and my paradigm and keep me on a straight path and just guide me and just like, you know, just being my brother, you know, just like, You know, it doesn't expect anything from me. Just like just wants me to be there. Just like just being a homie, just being a real one. You know, so he's like, yeah, he's my coach, but he's also like my brother. I feel like it was divine intervention. You know, like he's been through the same thing. And when my little brother took his life, I gained a new brother in him. You know, so it's just like
you guys have a lot in common.
Yeah, and it's crazy, bro. I never even told you this, but I had 2 of my best friends that I literally like went to kindergarten with, grew up with them. One of them killed himself. He took his life, hung himself, and he had a little girl on the way, which when you told me that about Braden, I didn't even think I even probably brought it up to you, but he took his life, and his little girl was born like 2 weeks later or something.
Yeah.
And it was wild, you know,
That's
wild
tough,
experience. I was
yeah.
young, early 20s, and then I had my other friend that died. My best, like these 2 of my best brothers died. The other one died. He had cancer. He was fighting for years, and just one day just didn't pull it off. But it's crazy, you know, like the whole death experience. And then one of the things we did, like this last fight, we were going like this. So we put up a little heart.
Yeah.
And people probably wonder, like, look at these fucking jerk offs. And that heart is literally us representing everybody that's going through it mentally, physically. If you can't be there, you know, emotionally, or if you don't have the arms, somebody's missing an arm, somebody's missing a leg, somebody can't get up and do certain things. Like
Alex is missing
us doing this little heart right here is for you. Like you're here with us, and this is for you. So that's why we always now lately, like this is just our little thing, and it's heart, it's love, and it's just spreading it to everybody. You know what I mean? We work in the fight game, you know? Fuck everybody. Not friends with nobody. We're here to fucking kill. Like we're killers. That's what we are.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and you turn around and you're dead. But at the end of the day, like we look at everybody and we show love to everybody.
Yeah.
As
Everybody.
it should be, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
that's
it's
great,
even
man.
like after we left the room and he's like, let's go get a world title. I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm like, damn. I was like, this guy just like, I tell him, show me a combination. He gives me the craziest, most gangster answer I've ever seen in my life. I tell him that my little brother died. He gives me the craziest, most gangster answer I've ever seen. And he's like, all right.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to see you hitting the jab on the bag. And I'm like, meh. And he's like, he goes, Papi, relax. Act like you love your job. Por favor. I'm like, what? And he's like, love it. Enjoy it. Get that frown off your face. Smile. Wow. Bah. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Bah. And I was like, huh? I was like, fuck yeah. Poof. And then all of a sudden, just, rah. And he's like, that's it. Now you're loving it. And I was like, damn. Like, and
Big
then
difference, huh?
it was all
Just
these like
your
little
mentality just switch. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
change the physiology. It changes your psychology. You know, it's just like why you can't like laugh when you're crying. It's why you can't. It's like why people with their head down and their shoulders slumped, like you're like, oh, low self-esteem, like, or like you're not feeling good. But if you're got your chest up, chin up in the air, smiling, like you're exuding that energy.
Yeah.
So when a lot of people get Mr. Serious, like, oh no, I fight MMA. I'm a fighter. You know, it's like no, like you want to be relaxed, happy, enjoying your life, enjoying the work, you know, and
then throwing a hook and knocking somebody
and
out.
then throwing a hook,
best
and then
feeling.
smiling
Like
some
smiling,
more.
Done.
Hey, what?
And I always say, you know, tap into your fighter's brain and you'll change your fighter. Tap into your fighter's heart and he'll change the world. Like he'll change the world himself because that's what's ahead of him. And it's crazy. Like what I was telling my boy over here is like, you know, like how do you do these things? And it's like you tap into their heart. Because people, when they love something, I mean, they'll kill for it.
Oh, yeah.
They'll do whatever it takes.
Huge.
I mean, like, I'm sure you got family. You guys got families and stuff, and maybe little ones here, but you love them. You're doing it with your heart, you know, not just because you know it's right, but you're doing it with your heart, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to keep them alive, keep them running. So you tap in here. It's crazy what you can do.
Yeah.
Because the brain connects with the body, but the heart connects with the brain. And then that's crazy. When you unlock
That's the key.
When you unlock those levels, man, you're on a whole nother level.
It's just different. It's just different.
Amazing.
Everything that we do, thinking, our spirit's different, our physical body is like just completely different compared to where I was not even a year ago.
Yeah.
Not even a year ago. Everything has changed.
And then that's the same for those people who think like, oh, it's too late, you know, I can never change, or like, fuck it, you can always change.
It's
bro. It's
never
too late. You
Bro,
know?
I started training people at a backyard. I would go to gyms. People would close the door, say, you know, you don't have the experience. No, you're too young. And I have a crazy video on Instagram where I start hitting pads in the backyard. Then I'm at like Gold's Gym. Then I'm at like another gym, and then I'm at a little fight that's like looks like in a backyard, and then I'm at the Staples Center. Then I'm in Phoenix, Arizona on ESPN.
Then fast forward a couple years.
Then I'm
in
Vegas.
Here, you know?
And then here I am. You know?
Perth, Australia.
That's crazy.
Damn.
Across the world.
That's crazy, man.
Everybody's coming up.
Can you make sure we put his Instagram up too?
I scratch my head like, how the fuck did I get here?
Crazy.
How am I in Australia?
Yeah.
It's crazy how life, man, like life turns in so many ways. You don't know where you're going to be. As long as you're focused, motivated, and you keep following your heart, you know, and your guts. Like, you know, life's a roller coaster, bro. You just can't get comfortable. Just get out of your comfort zone.
That's
and
where
keep
it's hard.
pushing, you know, keep pushing yourself.
Trust me, we're not comfortable any day.
I tell everybody.
I don't remember the last time I was comfortable.
The only time I was comfortable was on the fly back from Italy.
We just came back from Milan. We went and raced like all the Lambos on ice.
Sure.
Oh my god.
Fuck yeah.
We were like not feeling it. We almost missed our flight back. It was crazy.
Oh my god.
It was crazy, man. Damn, but yeah, I learned so much from this podcast. I'm like honored to be here with you guys.
Oh, it's an honor for us to be here.
Honestly, it's like sometimes, you know, we're having a good time, we're having a nice conversation, but I feel like we tapped into some good mental, like, you know, life lessons that
and I'm glad
are
you got
gonna
to
help
come
a lot
on
of people. Yeah, absolutely.
We should definitely do another because we need. I mean,
we're
short time.
We should do a second one where you guys can actually kind of go over from where you guys came from and.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure.
No,
and then this little
Yeah.
things, like we might not see it, but this is gonna help a lot of people at home. Like, you know, just listening to this kind of conversations, and people can connect and they feel where we come from, and they're like, oh shit. So we actually change a lot of lives. I feel like by just having conversations here, and
it's more than what meets the eye. And you know, a lot of people, especially like after my fight, are like, man, you know, I had no idea about your little brother. Like they didn't know about in the CFFC fight, and you know, it's like at the end of the day, I just tell people like, yo, you got to be who's the MVP. Is the most important, the most valuable player. Like you have to be the most valuable player. You have to be the most valuable player in your own life, on your team, and to the world. You know, like you got to be the best. And I really work well with acronyms, so I use MVP as mission, vision, purpose. And if you're on your mission, vision, purpose, then you're going to be the most valuable player because you're chasing after. You have your mission, you have the vision inside your eyes, and you can see it with your physical eyes. But with your eyes closed, you can see it clear as day. And that's your purpose. And if you just lead with that, then you know, it's like Nipsey Hussle said it too. He's like find your purpose or you're wasting air.
Yeah.
You know, find your purpose or you're wasting air. And it's true, because if you don't know where you're going, then you're just gonna get pushed around every which way.
And then for everybody watching that though, that's hard though. So for some people, they're wondering like, well, what do I know what I'm good at? You know what I mean?
Right.
And dude, sometimes it's really not about the money.
No. It's not.
No.
Yeah,
it's really not about the money, because that's where people misinterpret things, is where they're like, well, I'm not making money here. What the fuck? I think it's not my purpose.
Right.
Dude, do what you love.
Yeah.
I love to do this. And I'm happy. I'm fine. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm chasing the dream.
Yeah, you could be depressed in a Lamborghini. It might be a little bit hard, but
it happens.
But I bet you can.
There's a lot of people that are very depressed.
Yeah.
And they got money that you couldn't even imagine.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. I mean, we see like people killing themselves because they're just not there mentally.
Yeah, all the time. You know,
it's not all about the money.
Yeah, and that's why even what I told with Braden is, do not make a permanent decision on a temporary problem or issue. He got falsely convicted of a rape. The lady 7 months later, after he does a 7-month jail term, says, "Oh yeah, no, he didn't do it."
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh, sick. Oh, great. Well, you know, he had a few attempts while he was in there, you know, and you know, we're like, oh, maybe not, you know, I don't know, you know, but he did, and then you know he's out trying his best, you know, and 5 months later, that's it.
Cold world.
You know, and it's like that, you know, and life is the fight game, and it's not easy, and we got to fight for what we believe in. We got to fight for everything that we have in life, and you know, he chose to quit fighting, you know, and he's got a beautiful daughter, Catalea, who is just an angel, as my little niece, and my nephew Dinero. And you know, it's we talk about programming and patterns. You know, Braden grew up without his dad, and his dad was supposed to go see him after his graduation, and his dad died, and it just killed him. And so, you know, that cycle continues where his kids are going to grow up without a father, you know, and hopefully things go well for my niece and my nephew. You know, I pray for them. But it's tough, man, you know, and you imagine hearing that news, like, yeah, you know, this is what happened. You just grow up and you're like, man, like, that's wild. You know, this is their fate, you know.
See, but that's where maybe like someone like you, or like, you know, having someone that can program your brain to change, you know, the pattern, you know, you don't have to keep the pattern going, but like, you know, growing up, we all had issues, right? But like me, for example, a lot of the times business wise, I never had someone to change my pattern or my view or like support me. Just the little things make a difference, you know, but sometimes just having that support and someone to look up to, and having like that, you know, emotion, like, oh, I can count on this person, that can make a whole change. But a lot of people, you know, go into this deep hole because they don't have anybody to look up to. And I feel like that could be changed, you know.
And that's why truly I do what I do, because I saw these coaches and I saw these guys that I looked up to, and my dad's in jail and in and out of jail and prison, and I'm like, man, you know, like, I wish I had a dad like that. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to grow up and become that. Like, that was my goal. It's like, I want to be the guy that's in shape. I want to be, you know, a physical specimen, you know, like playing with like Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, Dawson. I was like in kindergarten, and I'm like, and I flexed my arm and it didn't move at all. And I was like, man, I'm so weak. I'm like, but you know what? When I grow up, I'm going to be the biggest, baddest motherfucker anybody's ever met. And people are going to feel my presence when I walk into a room.
That's why we all washed our clothes on his abs.
Yeah, that's right.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, it's crazy. He's like the nicest guy, like
nicest guy ever.
But like when you turn the tables and we're not like friends, like we're fucking fighting each other.
Yeah, fucking afraid of this.
Oh,
Like a pit bull, bro.
Shit, bro.
He's coming at you.
Because we look at you, we're gonna eat you.
I want to get. I want to be in your good side, bro, for sure.
Just don't forget.
Let me know if I'm fucking up, bro.
We family.
That's crazy.
No, we appreciate you guys coming on today. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for showing up. It's amazing. We should definitely do another one.
Absolutely,
I think there's a
you.
lot more we can get into.
Thank you so much.
Especially with both of you.
Facts.
But yeah, we appreciate it. Any last words?
Yeah, I just want to say to everybody that's watching, we love you. Remember, the heart's for you guys. La motivación viene del corazón. La vida es para hoy, no mañana, y ustedes son para siempre. And what that means is that life's for today, not for tomorrow, but you guys are forever. And again, you know, biggest hearts for me to you guys. And if you're watching, I love you. I love you. I love you. If you're going through it, I love you. If you're not going through it, I still love you. You know,
we love everybody.
Everybody.
Just show love. You have some empathy. Thank you guys.
Damn. Round of applause to
that
you
was
guys.
60 cheers, baby.
Yeah.